Well, hey, B. It's Jamie. That's me here. Listen, I just wanted to talk to y'all real quick about all of this Rock Nation stuff that's going on. You guys know that Megan Thee Stallion did file for a restraining order against Tory Lanez the other day. And Tory Lanez has come out to give a response to Miss Megan Thee Stallion. Now, it is being said that the reason she wants this restraining order is because she feels as though he is continuing to harass her from behind bars by way of a third party, okay, or third parties, because you guys know that she is currently suing blogger Milagro at this time, and they allegedly uncovered some statements, okay, some Zelle statements and payments that was made to Miss Milagro from Tory Lane's dad. Okay, so this is what's being alleged, that the money came from Tory that the dad used to go ahead and pay her. They're saying they have audio messages or audio calls from the prison of the dad inquiring about money that is supposed to be paid over to her. So they are now trying to connect, Tory to this somehow, saying that he used this young lady to come after Megan and harass Megan. So it's not looking good for him to receive this restraining order behind bars. I don't think it's a good look. You know what I'm saying? And also for her, they're finding other ways to stick it to her. So a lot of people feeling like, Megan's lawsuit isn't going anywhere. And I'm like, I don't know if it is or isn't. But I will say they definitely digging deep to find something to make sure that they can attach her to, and showing that you have been receiving money from somebody to harass and come after her is interesting. Now, we don't know for sure if that's what the payments are for indeed, but what they do know is that they have audio of the calls that were made in prison where the dad did inquire about money that was to be paid to Milagro. Okay. And again, we still don't know if it was said on the call about, paying money to Milagro to come after Megan, or just paying her to promote music or something. We don't know really what the money was used for, but just know that, the people over there in Alex Spiro's office, honey, they working overtime. Yes, they are. They are indeed working overtime, and they is on the people hours. Okay, y'all, let me know y'all thoughts. We are gonna get into a statement or whatnot that was given by Tory, so we'll definitely check that out. And let us get into that, okay? Let us pull that up on the screen, because what it's saying is that we're issuing a brief statement in response to the recent accusations made against our client, Mr. Daystar Peterson, okay, by Megan Pete, all right? They said in regard to the ridiculous claim that a writ of habeas corpus was actually filed prior to the release of Miss Pete's documentary in an attempt to undermine her work is ludicrous, okay? Because they are believing that he was requesting, I believe it was like something dealing with the gun. I guess he tried to say the gun wasn't in evidence or something, and he wanted to get it. Where is it? Y'all lost it. Y'all ain't got access to it. Something about that regarding evidence of some sort. I believe it was the gun right before, her documentary dropped. So she felt like he kind of put that narrative out there, or put that out there to kind of like deflect or affect her in some capacity with her documentary dropping. And I do believe the DA had to come out and say, like, it's in evidence. Whatever this man is talking about, kiss our ass, because it's in evidence or something. Okay. So that's what it sounds like they're talking about here. All right. And they're calling this a ludicrous, saying that whatever he was requesting ain't have nothing to do with your documentary, girl, is what it seems like they're trying to say. That's ludicrous. Okay. They said we would like to point out that the appellate courts impose strict timelines for when filings and responses must occur. Are the accusers now suggesting that the courts are trying to disrupt Miss Pete's documentary? Our client, Mr. Peterson, was simply complying with those legal deadlines as required by the courts. Okay, it goes on to address the Zelle payments of the $3,000 that were sent over to Milagro. And they're saying that as for the Zelle transactions of $3,000, we must ask the public not to jump to conclusions. Okay. The legal process will not only address these matters, but prove 100% without a shadow of a doubt that they had nothing to do with Mr. Peterson. Daystar Peterson, that is, okay, or his case at all. We trust that the facts will come to light in court. We believe that the funds sent by the dad will be fully accounted for and not connected to the their client. All right. This issue will be resolved by the lawyers and the courts where the truth will be revealed. All right. They're saying on a broader note, I believe it is important to consider the pattern of behavior we are seeing when someone has openly admitted to lying on major public platforms. Wow. Such as Gayle King's show and others to the people. At what point do we as a society stop believing the narrative they are pushing and ask ourselves, is enough enough? We trust that the truth will be fully examined and proven through the legal process, and we remain 100% confident in our case. Tribe, that's messy. Okay. That's messy. That's crazy. Okay. This is what they're saying. They're calling her a liar again because she lied to Gayle King, not so much as in the court of law, where I would think it matters the most, but more so, on Gayle King's show, and they feel like if she'll go as far as to lie there, then ain't no telling what else she'll do. And here we are. Okay, so this is what they're saying. His people have come out and spoken on his behalf. Y'all gotta let me know y'all thoughts about this. And yeah, whether y'all feel like she's well within her right to get this restraining order against him. My question is, will she also get one with Milagro as well? Right? Especially if she's the person that you are suing for defamation and that's been coming after you, crazy. So I just feel like, hey, you gonna get one on her too and not just him. Okay. I know they may not frequent the same areas, but then at the same time, you never know. And at this point, after Megan introduced a restraining order when it came to her album that she was trying to put out at one point, ain't no telling what else she could get a restraining order on. Hell, she probably could get an internet restraining order to where the girl can't even mention her. I don't know. Maybe that's a gag order of some sort. Okay. So I would think and hope that would come along with that, if you're suing them for that. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts about it. But as I said, Alex Spiro in the office, they are working overtime because what we learned was just the other day, and actually I think it was today as I'm talking about it. Tony Buzbee has come out and has decided that he is going to be suing Roc Nation, as Roc Nation has already started the process to sue him, from my understanding, okay, based on the demand letter that went out to Jay-Z regarding an alleged victim. Jay-Z felt like, hey, you trying to extort me. His attorneys weren't having it. They filed a suit against Tony Buzbee. Buzbee, who felt so confident in his client, decided to take the person on to NBC News and did not know, I guess, that NBC News was going to do the vetting that he clearly did not do over with his firm. And they learned about a lot of inconsistencies with things that just didn't line up. Her dad wasn't recalling events that he said he was sure to recall if something like that serious, happened. Her alleging that she has been in conversation with certain celebrities that can confirm that they were not even at said location at the time that things were going down. Okay. There's been a lot, okay? There's been a lot, with the inconsistencies and things not necessarily adding up and making sense. But I do want us to check out really briefly a post that Roc Nation made, and it's a news story regarding this person speaking on, what allegedly happened to her. And I actually want to play it for one particular reason, okay? So let us get that up on the screen, and it's a part in there that I just want us to capture. So let us just check this out real quick.
For Jay-Z is firing back after a woman accused the rap icon of raping her when she was 13 years old. And that accuser, after NBC News discovered inconsistencies in her account, is standing by her statements. Chloe Malas now with our NBC News exclusive.
Tonight, the accuser's law firm telling NBC News that the woman alleging Jay-Z raped her when she was 13 years old is expected to undergo a voluntary polygraph test tomorrow. This after our exclusive interview with the now 38-year-old mother from Alabama found inconsistencies with her account. We agreed to conceal her identity as an alleged sexual assault victim.
What made you finally want to talk about it?
Well, nobody was going to believe me back then. Like, nobody.
In the wake of our reporting, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, is pushing a judge to dismiss the accuser's lawsuit.
We expect Mr. Carter to be fully cleared of all of this in the coming days. Almost nothing that she says has checked out because this never happened.
On the night of the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000, the woman says Sean Diddy Combs' limo driver took her to an after party at a White House with a U-shaped driveway. There, the woman says she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo that's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time and did not attend the 2000 VMAs. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who drove more than 5 hours to pick her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not corroborate her story. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. A representative for Carter told NBC News that Jay-Z never attended a house party after the VMAs. They say he went to a nightclub for several hours, then went to his recording studio in Manhattan. In a follow-up phone interview, we asked her about the contradictions, and she said that she stands by her statements.
This woman is standing by her story. It happened over 20 years ago. Maybe her memory is hazy. Maybe her father doesn't remember that night.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. They says, I'm positive no one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never happened.
A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
I haven't asked for a dime from him. Not everything is motivated by money, and I'm sorry that he feels that it is.
The accuser's lawyer says his client remains adamant about her claim, that she signed 2 affidavits and that he's waiting for the results of tomorrow's polygraph. Chloe Malas, NBC News.
Well, we are back now on an update
Y'all
on a
heard that part.
high-profile.
Her claim that she signed 2 affidavits and that he's waiting for the results of tomorrow's polygraph. Chloe Malas, NBC News.
That's primarily what I wanted to play that clip for. The first thing was when she mentioned, first of all, y'all heard all of the inconsistencies. Listen, I'm not saying that Jay-Z, I don't know what that man did, okay? I don't know what he's done in his past, but what I can say is whatever crime y'all trying to place on him with this woman, it's not true. It's not accurate. No matter how much y'all try to shift, shake, rearrange, move dates, move years and stuff to try to make it align to fit whatever narrative that you want. Unfortunately, this one is not sticking, so you might want to find another victim, okay? And hope that their story is within alignment to work out, to push whatever narrative that you want. But this one right here, it's just not working out, and y'all just go out the deal, okay? The people that hate them, people that don't like them, I feel indifferent to them. I'm not that much of a fan in all honesty, but it is what it is, okay? This one here ain't clicking, okay? If it's clicking all the way down to the damn ground at this point, okay? Because as Alex said, it didn't happen. It doesn't appear that it happened, okay? The young lady saying, or the older woman at this point saying that she didn't ask for anything monetary. Of course, you wanted to see what they were going to be offering. Of course, you didn't ask for a particular monetary number. There wasn't one on there. They was trying to get y'all both in a mediation room to see if he was going to go along with the get along and just offer you a number to just be done with it, and you were going to be open to take whatever the hell it was that was on that table, okay? But aside from that, saying that it wasn't money motivated, it just don't sound right to me. But y'all believe what y'all want to believe. Primarily, the reason I wanted to play that audio for me was because what you guys heard was at the very end, Tony allowed that person to do a polygraph test and says that he would have the actual results of that test within a day or so, or however long it was. I think it was less than 48 hours. Here we are. Okay, now the person did the interview at some point last week. I believe it aired on maybe Friday. That's when we learned about it. That's when we all talked about it. Between last week and here it is Wednesday, we have not gotten the results of those tests, okay? You said that she was, I've had a client, and she's willing to do a polygraph test. I tell you that. Nobody else has been willing to do one. She said that she was going to do one, so we're going to let her do one. Okay, she's going to come to the front, and she's going to give her. It's giving Trump. But anyway, where's the polygraph test answers at, sir? Instead of you bringing to the front what you said that you was going to have for the people, which was the polygraph test, you decided to bring to the front this lawsuit, okay? Him suing Jay-Z Jay-Z, at this point, I feel like y'all all making a damn mockery of the legal system. In my personal, I don't feel like it's about the victims anymore, which is what you claim to represent. I think it's more so about your image, and it's two bulls going at it, feeling like they will not be sunned over the other. And I also feel like in my personal, and this is just an opinion, not fact, I feel like Tony feel away. I feel like Tony feels a way to have been challenged by this black man. Okay. And just this man in general, because I feel like he's used to likely getting what it is he wants from those demand letters. And if he doesn't get what he wants, then he's going to put your name out there into the media, make it salacious, whatever the case is. And you finally met your match of a person that said they're not going to go for this. Okay, you may have tried them. You may have tried Al, Ben, and Kathy, but what you're not going to do is try me. Okay? So I'm going to give you what you're looking for, and now you just can't take. And it's really comical to me just a little bit. A lot of what he's complained about and says has happened to him, I feel no ways. I feel like some of the same actions you're saying a person has put out against you is likely some things that you've put out against someone else to get what it is that you want out of the deal, as far as you saying harassing and doing investigations and all this and that. Honestly, had you did a better investigation and vetting of your damn client instead of trying to put it off on a third person, in my personal, then we likely would not be here at this time. Okay? And because of what you did and your client going to the front and having these inconsistencies in what she's saying, is now unfortunately bringing into question a lot of the victims that you say you have. You said you had about 120 of them. Okay. I believe 2 of them didn't check out, and then I think she may be the 3rd or something like that. So now people are questioning these claims that you say that you have. And a lot of people are leaning towards the thought that you are indeed the ambulance chaser that Jay-Z is making you out to be, or that you're making yourself out to be, that Jay-Z has called you on. Okay. But I do want us to get into his post just a bit. I'm not going to get into the full, article, I'm sorry, the full like legal notes or anything like that, but let me say this before I get into the documents. Okay, I'm not the documents, but before I get into his post, first of all, I do have to shout out I'm gonna shout out Chronicle Speaks, because I got a chance to check out her video, and when I checked out her video, she was saying, like, she kind of read some things that were between, I guess, one of the investigative people and Jay-Z's alleged investigative person, as well as I guess the person they were reaching out to that was once a client of Buzbee's. And I thought that was pretty interesting, but it doesn't fully tell me anything. Okay, he's believing that these people are doing the work of Rock Nation, and they could not, and he's feeling very threatened by it. But if these people are trying to get a class action lawsuit on you, I do feel like they likely well within their right, if you have enough people that feel like, you know, you didn't operate with them accordingly. It's not the first time, it won't be the last, that I've heard of an attorney supposedly handling things for clients and then putting that money away into some type of account, escrow account, whatever kind of account, and those people didn't get all of the money they were supposed to get for it. Now, I'm not saying that is what Tony has done. I don't know what he has actually done, but I just, don't put nothing past none of these people anymore. Now with this, it's just a lot of questions. Okay, I just got a lot of. I don't know who the hell to trust it no more. Okay, but I feel like I've been seeing Tony from the beginning. Okay, as I've said before, with the whole conference he did where he was kind of contradicting himself. Okay, you got 120 victims ready to move forward, but then y'all still need to vet them. So how can they move forward if you haven't vetted them? And then now we're seeing a prime example right here. You didn't fully vet them. Now you want to blame it on somebody else, saying that they were supposed to vet them, then they just came to you. Like, that don't even make no damn sense to me. But okay, and that's the same thing that it appears Jay-Z's attorneys are calling Mr. Buzbee out on. But in addition to, that whole dialogue with the investigator and the client, I believe they were trying to find out about some of the other claims and see if that may have happened to this person, where money was supposed to be promised to them, but they didn't get all of the money. And it made me think of Tom Girardi from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and how he was supposed to handle cases for people, and they won so much money, but they never got all of their money. Some of that money he kept and did what the hell he wanted to do with it, and paid for lavish things for his wife and did all kind of shit with. Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't put nothing past these type folks. Shy ain't nobody's to be trusted at this time for me. But let's get into what it is that he has to say over here. So he puts up a screenshot of Marcy Croft. And I guess this is her showing her connection to Rock Nation. He says today the Buzbee law firm filed suit against Rock Nation and lawyers, okay, Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel for violation of various state laws, including what is this, barratry and impersonation of a public official. The cases was brought on behalf of a former client of the firm who was illegally solicited by agents working on behalf of the defendants. Now, what I'm wondering is, how was a person illegally solicited? What could cause an individual to be illegally solicited? How does that work? Because if that's the case, it's given the person that you had coming to do the NBC show was given illegally solicited because Miss Bam couldn't even get her damn story right to save her damn life. Okay? Just a little bit, but let's keep going. That's why this is a chuckle for me, because I'm just sitting over here looking at it like a lot of what you're saying about him and what his people are doing, you about damn near did. So I feel no ways in a sense. So he goes on to say these agents pretended to be working for the state of Texas and offered the former client money to sue the Buzbee law firm. Now, from part of the documents, because Chronicle did not get into all of the documents, but one of the back and forths that I did see, it didn't appear that they were offering any money. I think they were saying you would win money if you win this case. Yeah, because it's a class action lawsuit. But it didn't seem like they specifically were offering any money. And I might take the time out myself to actually go through the articles, you know what I'm saying? But right now I'm not. When I have some downtime, I may, actually like read it. But, they're coming with lawsuits left and right. Like, it's so much paperwork and new filings like every 50 minutes, girl. Okay, so it's a little difficult to catch up. But anywho, so he goes on to say, he says a lawsuit filed today alleges that the defendant's conspiracy is intended. Oh, let me actually go back up a little bit more, actually. So they're saying that these agents pretended to be working for the state of Texas and offered to the former client money to sue the Buzbee law firm. This illegal conduct has happened more than 24 times to date and has resulted in 2 utterly frivolous cases against the firm. Which is interesting, because you are also saying now that you had 2 cases that's coming against Jay-Z. According to the document or the post that he made about 3 weeks to a month ago, he was claiming he had 2 lawsuits. So that's why I find the parallels of this is hilarious to me, because you said you had 2 lawsuits to bring against him. You bring one and that one's not fully checking out. You said that you'll have the test results soon. And we haven't heard you produce any test results, but you produced this lawsuit. So it seems like that's not checking out. And to distract just a little bit, and I could be wrong, y'all, okay? But for me, it is giving like to distract from the fact that your client wasn't fully telling the truth. You're bringing forth a lawsuit. The same, similar to what some people are trying to say, oh, Jay-Z is bringing this lawsuit up against Buzbee to distract from the fact that this victim is accusing him of X, Y, Z. You see the parallels? That's why it's just comical. It's crazy. And I honestly feel like it's becoming less and less and less about the people that experienced SA by the hands of these quote unquote celebrities, okay? A mockery. Let's keep going. So the lawsuit filed today alleges that the defendant's conspiracy is intended to obstruct justice and prevent the Buzbee law firm from pursuing cases related to the Diddy litigation in New York, which is also interesting because you're doing a play on words by trying to say that they're trying to prevent you from moving forward with your cases for the Diddy litigation. And let me tell you why this is interesting to me. Number one, they've already disassociated themselves from Diddy, saying they have nothing to do with what he has going on. Of course, Shapiro came out working for his client saying that Jay-Z and Diddy are not friends. It appears that they are, okay? Now, whether they're personal friends or work friends or whatever it was, it appears that over time they definitely were friends of some sort, okay, to me. However, I get you trying to do your job. But Buzbee, back to you for just a little bit. When I hear these words of you saying that the defendant's conspiracy is intended to obstruct justice and prevent the Buzbee law firm from pursuing cases related to the Diddy litigation in New York, it makes me question your it makes me question the clients that you have. It makes me question the quote unquote victims that you do have. And if those stories are not necessarily checking out, and you know that things may not likely go in your favor because you thought you were going to be able to strong arm people with demand letters and it not get to this level. And you might have to release some of those clients because they're not actual factual and they have not been properly vetted. And it's making you look bad. So now you're trying to say they're trying to prevent you from moving forward with your cases against Diddy. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do when it comes to Diddy. You're going to do that anyway because that's just how you is, and that's just what you was doing. But what it appears is that Jay-Z says you're not finna try me like that. And then, that's just interesting. Okay, it's just interesting, child. And it's just, girl, it's a mess. I don't think they give a damn about what you doing with Diddy. He just saying, don't put my name in it, and I'm not motherfucking in it, and you better not put me in that. You understand? That's what it sounded like to me. Okay? This is just, it's just crazy, okay? So they say the conduct isn't just alleged, it was caught on tape. So when he says it was caught on tape, I'm wondering which one of the individuals that were reached out to decided to record this and pass it over to Buzbee, okay? If it was caught on tape, that may sound like, oh my God, that's crazy. What are they doing? That's illegal. It could potentially not be illegal, okay? When you're doing an investigation about something and when you're trying to do a class action lawsuit, I don't think that is uncommon to reach out to people to find out what happened with their situation and if at any point they may have felt away or whatever. I feel like they're doing their due diligence, which is investigating, which is something that you should have did before you just slap somebody's name to a paper and then send out demand letters. In my personal, right? So I feel like they're doing their due diligence. I feel like if anything, your allegiance would be with said previous client that should have signed some type of paperwork to where maybe they can't move forward with trying to do a class action lawsuit against you because they received all the money that they were aware of that they were going to get. But that's what I'm thinking. Let's keep going. So he says the defendant, Marcy Croft, who describes herself on social media as part of the team Rock, is orchestrating the conspiracy along with the with assistance from defendant Quinn Emanuel. As you can see from the screenshot, Croft, Quinn Emanuel, and Rock Nation have a long working history. The suit alleges defendant Rock Nation is financing the illegal effort. So when you say the suit alleges, of course the lawsuit is going to allege that because that is what you're alleging. But is that what the audio is saying? Is the audio saying that they're doing this on behalf of Rock Nation? Because just because you see this does not mean that they don't have other clients that's on your ass. Okay? And could have potentially been on your ass. Who knows? I don't know. Okay? They could have been on your ass. Or this could be Jay-Z. This could be Jay-Z now on your ass. But then the question becomes, is it really illegal to do this investigation? It should be illegal, in my opinion, to put alleged victims up here to say that certain things happen to them without you properly vetting them to make sure that their claims are 1,000% accurate and line up and make sense. That, to me, should be illegal. That, to me, is giving legal extortion. In my opinion. Okay, but who am I, girl? I ain't no lawyer. I'm no attorney, girl. I'm not nobody. I'm just telling y'all my thoughts, okay? And it's not clicking for me, okay? As set forth in the lawsuit earlier this week, agents acting on Croft's behalf, again, were caught on tape soliciting and offering money up to $10,000 to former clients of the Buzbee law firm to convince them to file a frivolous case against the Buzbee law firm, okay? Now, the document that I saw, and I would have to get it for myself, but what I saw Chronicle Speaks read out, the person, I think they asked about, no. Okay, I'm thinking about a different part where they were asking if they have to pay something. And they were saying, yeah, you'll have to pay for your attorney, all attorneys charge or whatever. But I don't recall the part about the money. But again, she only read a portion. She didn't read all of it. So I would have to take that in for myself to confirm whether that is actually what happened. And if so, if he's saying he has tape and audio or whatever of this, then hopefully it is of this person, offering up to $10,000. Okay, so because that's what he said, it was caught on tape. Behalf again were caught on tape soliciting and offering up to $10,000 to former clients. So we shall see if that's accurate, actual and factual. Okay, I feel like my question is this though. Because when you do a class action lawsuit, you could potentially get up to so much if that class action lawsuit is, won and granted. So that could be the angle that they're coming from. Not necessarily that they're going to give them money if they actually file this case against them. So that's where the play on words is for me. And that may be where I do need to read his documents, because attorneys have a way with words, right? So I would just have to see, because it could be different ways. It could be that they were offering the money, as he said, or they could have been asking about the money and they could have told him, well, you could potentially win up to $10,000 if, you all win this class action lawsuit. You feel what I'm saying? But let's keep going. All right. So they're saying, the former clients, they were offering this money to the clients to convince them to file a lawsuit against him. These folks have now stooped to a new low to try to intimidate the lawyers of the Buzbee law firm from doing their important work. They now are contacting clients and former clients and actually offering them money to sue me. This conduct was specifically targeted at our firm, so we would not pursue cases related to the Diddy litigation. See how he keep trying to tie him again to the Diddy litigation in some capacity? So it's just like, I don't trust him. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't think nobody is to be trusted. But I feel like for me, because I called his card a long time ago, like 2-3 months ago, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by how he's showing up. Like, this man is very interesting here. And then again, he's talking about not being bullied or intimidated. The defendants this time overstepped, got sloppy. So they overstepped and they got sloppy, but you didn't overstep and your ass got sloppy. So sloppy that you took that girl down to NBC for NBC to fact check, for you to sit up there and say she offered a polygraph test, for you to say that you was going to get the results and have yet to share them but decided to sue. But you want to say that they being sloppy? Everybody is being sloppy. That does not exclude you. That's crazy. He says, and stupidly got caught at their illegal scheme on tape, and so did your client, which is crazy. This is comical. And again, it still takes the light away from said victims that you say you have under your belt that have actually been violated. A mess, child, because the people say they care about victims, which I really don't. So we have reported this conduct to the authorities and intend to cooperate with the authorities to ensure all involved are prosecuted. After Jay-Z them said that they gonna make sure that you and all your attorneys, everybody involved in this is going to get their work. And he's going after y'all primarily for what y'all did when it comes to him. Not so much as Diddy, but more so with him. Okay, because he could have been said something, been stepped up, been participated, or did something at his friend back or something earlier on. But I don't think it's a single person out there that's cool with Diddy aside from Stevie J that was out there having his back. None of the ones that we really saw, everybody like, I don't know that man. Okay, when you see me in the streets, you don't know me. Period. I don't know him. Who is that? Diddy who? Diddy what? Not me. Okay, that's what it's given. But anywho, let's hop over here real quick, because they're saying that Sean Carter's lawyer wants all the evidence related to the lawsuit preserved. So if y'all think y'all finna get rid of something, don't get rid of that thing, and don't throw a mother thing out as you expedite this dismissal. I want you to keep everything. I want the NBC news. I want all of it. Let's see. They want Buzbee's misconduct in the lawsuit to stay. Buzbee's misconduct in other lawsuits. Okay, so they gave some background. I haven't gotten into the article, and we're not gonna get into it on today. I mean the legal documents, and we're not gonna get into it on today. They said an immediate preservation order is warranted because there is a substantial risk that key evidence will not be preserved. I know that's right. Preserve that lie detector. Because I refuse to believe that she gonna come out innocent after all her other stuff has been not checking out. If she did come out and it was accurate, I still wouldn't believe it. Period. Just like some of y'all still not believing that that Jay-Z is innocent of this particular crime here, that's how I feel about her. Okay, so even if it did say she passed, I'm gonna believe she lied. So, and that it was doctored by somebody. Period. So they're saying Mr. Carter faces a significant risk that Buzbee will destroy relevant evidence absent a preservation order. Mr. Carter's right to conduct full discovery will be irreparably harmed. And they said the burden on Buzbee to preserve evidence is negligible. All right. The court should strike the complaint as against Mr. Carter pursuant to rule. So basically they want this case still dismissed, get it thrown the hell out. However, they still would like to preserve as much evidence as possible. And I feel like they gonna preserve it because they finna sue the fuck out of Buzbee. They finna sue the hell out of him. Especially once that lie detector test about come back and say, oops. Just kidding, my bad. Okay. Girl, just crazy. So they're saying that Judge Torres has not yet responded to the request to shorten the waiting time to strike claims from 21 days to 1 day. Okay, that was filed on Friday. Apparently undeterred, they're saying Spiro boldly requests the judge hold a hearing on his new request tomorrow morning at 9. So he asking the judge to make sure, like, let's have a meeting tomorrow about this preservation order to make sure this mother don't try to delete anything. And if he does, his ass is within violation. And that's just on P. Okay, so we're going to have to go ahead and get this handled. And we're going to have to get it handled very quickly. Child, this whole situation is a mess. But I just had to come and chat with y'all real quick. Leave your thoughts and comments down below on how you feel about this Megan situation versus Tory Lanez, Milagro. And also leave your thoughts about Jay-Z, the motions to dismiss, the future lawsuits that's going to come against Buzbee, the current lawsuit that's against Buzbee, and the current lawsuit that Buzbee has against Rock Nation. Okay, leave your thoughts and comments down below. That's all that I have at this time. I am Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be